Right, here I've got two different number lines, two different scales. And what I'm going to do is now estimate numbers on the number line. It's like a good guess, right? An estimate is a good guess. So if I was to ask you how many students there are in a classroom, you're not going to start counting every single student. You just quickly have a look around and say, yeah, it looks like there's around about 27. Some people might say 30. But if you look around the classroom and you say there are 200 students in your classroom, well, that's not an estimate, is it? All right. Clearly these are going up in 20s. Let's suppose I want to know what this one is. And that arrow looks like as if is in between 40 and 60. The number that comes between 40 and 60 is 50. 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Let's suppose I want to know what this number is. An estimate, okay? I want to estimate. Well then, first of all, I need to know what comes between 60 and 80. That would be helpful. I'll put a mark here just to help me out. Between 60 and 80, I got 70. Right, so 70 over here, 80 over here. Right, what comes between 70 and 80? Right there, let me just zoom in. Right, what comes between 70 and 80? That's the middle. It's 75. So that could be 75, 76. I would say that's 76. That's my estimate. Let's look at this one. Right, from here to here, there's a gap. Well, it starts at 0. From 0 to 2000, there's a gap of 2000. If it was a different number here, for example, if it was 1,000 here, then you'd have to do 2,000, take away 1,000. 2,000 take away 1,000 leaves you with 1,000. That'd be a gap of 1,000, but it's not. I'm starting off with 0. So 2,000 take away 0 is just 2,000. There's a gap of 2,000 here. Shared by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equal sections. 2,000 divided by 5, let's do it this way. 2,000 divided by 5. 5 into 2 doesn't fit, but 5 into 20 goes 4 times. No remainder. 5 into 0 doesn't go. 5 into 0 doesn't fit, doesn't go. It's 400. So these are going up in 400s, kind of like the 4 times table. 4, 8, 12, 16, but these are hundreds. So these are going up in 400s. Add 400, add another 400, add another 400, and so on. So now, if I wanted to work out, let's say, what this one is, clearly that's between, that looks like as if it's between 0 and 400. The number that comes between 0 and 400 is 200. Right, what might be helpful is to have a few extra scales, marks. That could be helpful. Right, from 0 to 400, there's a gap of 400. Right. What I can do is split this up into 4 parts, 4 sections, 1, 2, 3, 4. That might be helpful. We'll find out if it is. Okay, so that's 100, 200, 300, 400. Okay, these marks could be helpful. So this should be, just check, 1, 2, 3, 4, gap of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, just checking, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I can easily tell you what this one will be. That's 400. Right, clearly these are going up in hundreds. 0, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700. That'd be 700. And in the same way I can work at it. What if I want to work at this one though? That arrow comes between this mark and this mark over here. Well, that's 1,200, that's 1,200, that's 1,300, 1,400, that's 1,300, and that's 1,400, because remember these are going up in hundreds, and the number that comes between 1,300 and 1,400 is 1,350. So the arrow, my estimate is 1,350. Right, I'm going to estimate where this one is on the number line. Well, that's 1,623. So it's going to be around about here, isn't it? Somewhere around here. But remember, these are going up in hundreds. 100, add another 100, yeah? So here, zoom in. That's 1,700 over here. And that's 1,600. And in between, right in between, that's 1,650. The number that comes between 1,600 and 1,700 is 1,650. And this 1,623 is going to be roughly somewhere between this 1,600 and 1,650, somewhere here. And that's my estimate. So that there is this number over here. Okay, it's just an estimate, right? It's not very accurate, but it's good enough for an estimate. But try to make the arrow pointing a little bit closer to 600 than 650. Because that 1,623 is closer to that number there is closer to 1,600 than it is to 650, just by a bit. Right now, I'm going to take on the challenge of working out estimating. I'm just going to put an arrow here. What this arrow is pointing at. Okay, it's just going to be an estimate. I know it's quite close to 1,000, a lot closer than 0. So what might be helpful now is to find the center of this. What comes between 0 and 1,000? 500. I think that's the center. That's the center. Let's say that is the center. So that would be 500. Right, from 500 to 1,000. I think what might be helpful now is to split this up into hundreds. So what I'm trying to do this. So it'll be 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000. So I need to split this part up into 5 equal sections. Let me just see this. Let me just test it out, because I don't want to mess up this number line. It's 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000. It's reasonable. I think that's fairly good. I would say 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000. 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000. Well, clearly this arrow is close to 800 and 700. Right, what might be helpful is to maybe split this up into 10 equal parts, so that these are going up in tens. Well, that's a bit of a challenge. Let's try. Well, that's the middle. And I want 5 equal sections here, 5 equal sections. Altogether, I'm going to have 10 equal sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there should be 10 equal sections there. 10 equal sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Fortunately, I can't zoom in any further. That's 700, 710, 720, 730, 740, 750, 760, 770. That's it, 770. This bit there is 780. that there, I would say 780. Though it does look like the arrow is slightly to the right of 780, ever so slightly. I'm just going to take an estimate. I'll say 782. You might want to say 781. Some people might be happy with 780. I'm just going with 782. That's my estimate. Well, because these marks are not very accurate, right, it'd probably be good enough to say 780 or even 780.